Hello, you sexy bitch. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
That's what I like to hear. You're looking sexy, man. Looking very, very sexy.
Aloha and welcome to this episode of Experts and Idiots, featuring me, 420 Chilli Sash, and my very good mate, head honcho of the Capsaicin Cartel in Quebec, Canada, Jefe, otherwise known as Nico. Now, what you might know about me, or what you might know about my friend over there in Canada, is that we're a couple of chili heads, that's for sure correct. But also, we're a couple of reformed wasters. See, I was very much a drug addict with a little bit alcoholism on the side, and he was very much an alcoholic with a little bit drug addiction on the side. And both of us have recovered. Now, today we have drug war stories for you, the Alternative Recovery Extreme Chili Challenge. Now, what's that all about? Well, recovery. Recovery does not always mean that you have to find God and give everything up and hate your previous lifestyle and your previous life and all of that stuff. No. Recovery isn't a one-size-thing-fits everybody. And a lot of people, like myself and the dear Jefe over here, we recovered, but that doesn't mean we hate our former lives. For sure, we had a problem. We needed to get better, but we also had a fuck ton of fun. And we like to sit down and enjoy remembering that. It helps us with our recovery. And that's what we've got for you today. A nasty burn session with our various poisons. I'm on my favourite, the Hindenburg candy floss. Lovely, lovely chili extract. We'll blow your tits off that. And my boy, Jefe, is on his favourite at the moment, which is his own personal green Reaper sauce from the Capsaicin Cartel. So, we're going to have a burn, and we're going to have a little wander through the many years of misspent youth that we have behind us. Enjoy.
But then, I mean, like, smuggling was good and bad for me. Like, there was great time.
I only smuggled into Spain some hash and ecstasy, and we put it in our shampoo bottles.
Oh, dude. I fucking was carrying joints in my trouser pockets, crossing the borders into China and Dubai. That's how much of a fucking idiot I was. And I thought it was intelligent, you know what I mean? And we got really close to getting busted a few times. Like, I remember being in Ibiza with two friends of mine, about 17 years old, and the drugs didn't, you know, like, we'd had a lot of drugs, and we got rid of all the drugs, apart from one little bag of weed that was too good to throw away. And so my buddy, Nathan, is a black guy, decided to smuggle it. So he put it in his pocket. That was how advanced we were in those days. And cheers.
Cheers.
So we're at the line and we're queuing up. There's like a gangway like this. Here is a metal detector. Here is a space. Here is a cordon, and here is a line of people waiting to cross here and go through the metal detector. Oh, I'm dripping from my nose, excuse me. I do apologize. And we were standing by the cordon, and my mate, Nathan, had this fucking weed in his pocket, and there's cops, you know, like customs people here, you know? We're all standing there, and for some reason, he needed to get something from his pocket or something like that, so he did. And as he pulled whatever he needed from his pocket out, the bag of weed just flew out, circled through the air, and landed in the middle of the way between the cordon and the electric detector. And luckily, none of the fucking cops saw that happen, yeah? But me and my two mates could fucking see this bag of fucking maybe 5 grams of weed just sitting there right in front of the cops, yeah? And then it came to the bit when we can come through, you know? And then they were like, okay, come. And then Nathan did the most cool move I ever saw. He walked through, and then like someone in a cartoon went, oh, my shoes are not tied up. Excuse me. And then went down to his shoes and then flipped this bag of weed off the floor into his socks, you know? And so that was like success. But then there was the time when I quit smuggling drugs, right? And I quit smuggling drugs because I was tripping on mushrooms, as was normal for me at the time. And I was smuggling about 300 grams of hash from across a border. I won't say which border or where or how. Yeah. And pardon?
No, I'll never do mushrooms again. Fuck that shit.
Why?
Nope. Fuck. No, it's not for me. I'd rather take ecstasy or LSD. But mushrooms.
LSD and mushrooms about the same, isn't it? Really?
Nah, just we chewed on the mushrooms and I just couldn't get over it. The taste, like, disgusting.
You didn't do your mushrooms correctly. Put that in some honey. Ooh, then you got something nice. Ooh. Yeah, we got popped. I got popped by the cops on the bus. I was smuggling and I was tripping, and I had about 300 grams of hash with me. And I won't go into the story right now because it's long and involved, but thank God, on the same bus, there was someone who had a suitcase full of cocaine, like a block of cocaine, yeah? And because of that, they let me go.
Because I had that one.
So that they could get that one. That's absolutely right, yeah? But like, fuck, man. That was when I decided not to smuggle ever again. I was like, nah, screw that. I've had enough. You know what I mean? I'm just so happy that happened in like a European country and not in China or some shit like that. Because then
you'll never come out. Never.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. But it's chaos. That's what it is. That's what it is. There is chaos in experience. And I miss the fucking chaos of it, to be honest with you. That's what I miss, is chaos sometimes.
That's what I did with drinking. You know, for me, my chaos in life was my drinking. You know, a lot of people try to drink me under the table. And what they don't realize is when we start drinking, they don't even they aren't even buzzed. I was already 25 to 30 beers in before we started drinking. And then I still drink them under the table. And it's not to pound my chest, but I could pound them away. In Yugoslavia, we're sitting at a bar. I've been sitting at the bar from 8 in the morning until like, what was it, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I down and people were looking at me like this guy is just nuts. He's absolutely crazy. Then some Englishman walks up to me and he's like, well, I can drink you under the table. I said, whatever, you want to give it a go? Let's go. So we started drinking, and the guy fell off his chair, started puking and whatever. I just got up, walked out, did it like this, and like a big stream of beer, you know, came out, and the shots and whatever. And I thought, well, okay, anybody wants to go for a beer?
Whoa.
But the chaos of the drinking, like I loved it. Sometimes I miss it, but I'm sober now.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to drugs as well, I'm a very good boy these days. I'm certainly still consuming alcohol, not frequently, but I consume alcohol. And with drugs, there would need to be a very, very, very good functional reason for me to do a drug. I mean, it depends how you classify cannabis, I suppose. I take cannabis medicinally.
I don't think cannabis is drugs. It's just a herb. It's meant to be smoked. Simple.
Mutual friend of ours, the head honcho of Sorry Sauce, Eric Begg, I think said it best when he said to me, "Isn't cannabis a foodstuff these days?"
Yeah.
Like, is that one of the food classifications these days, you know?
I mean, remember in the late 80s, there was a restaurant in Amsterdam. There was a boat that you could go to, and everything. I think Cheech and Chong even made them had it in their movie. But you could go to that boat, and everything was made with cannabis in it. Everything.
I think I went there. To a cannabis houseboat restaurant. Yeah.
You couldn't even leave the table because you were smack out of your brain.
Yeah.
Hey, puppies, where you going? Come here. Hey, come on. Let's go. Back. All right. Sorry about that.
Dog control.
Yeah, dog control.
Yeah. No, man, those Dutch days. I tell you what, I was fucking in love with your country at that time. Oh my God. And it was back in the days when Amsterdam was kind of dangerous, like not like now when it's clean and safe. Like I have a scar on my throat from where someone tried to cut my throat in an alleyway that I was trying to buy drugs from somewhere near Damrak at 3 a.m, unwisely in those days. Fuck, man. And I remember there in those days, I smoked the biggest joint I ever had in my entire life. It was astonishing as well. There was an astonishing joint. It was the size of a fucking baby's arm, that thing. It was, oh, bless him. The dog's getting in on the game now. I love it, man. That's all good.
They're around the corner now.
We were picking psilocybe tampsis, which are hallucinogenic truffles for American guys who were growing them there, yeah? And there was a whole bunch of international wasters like me from different places covered in tattoos picking this shit, and we all got free weed for it. And they just gave us a fucking gigantic bag of weed, and we all of us had to split off into different directions. And so we got together, like me, the South African guy, the French guy, all the people, the New Zealand guy. And we took the weed to a coffee shop where they weighed it for us, and it was like 142 grams or something like that. And then together as a group effort, we rolled every gram of it into one joint.
I've done that. Big fucking joint.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. And then we smoked that shit. I'll never forget that. And boy, I couldn't fucking move.
All right, here's your English lesson for the day, young Nico. This, sir, is called a tea cozy. And one of the most important pieces of advice that my father gave me, and I think you should give it to young Nathan as well, is this: never, ever trust a man who, when left alone in a room with a tea cozy for longer than 10 minutes, does not try it on.
That's some good advice there. I always put my tea cozy on.
Especially if it's in the shape of a chicken. You gotta put that on your head.
Yeah, and this is a cat. You showed me one with a cat.
Oh, well, that's popular too.
That's popular too.
If you're gonna put one on your head, it should be this one.
That's so racist. He's Dutch, let's put a windmill on his head. What we put on a British guy's head? What's as British as fuck? I think just a regular tea cozy.